Why should we care, though, as a society about what you call business integrity? I mean, I think that gets to it, right? If you say they conspired to interfere in an election and rob voters of the full information they needed, I understand why I should care about that. Business integrity sounds like, I don't know, it's fine, but like...
Right. No, it sounds that way, but it is really important in the financial capital of the world that we are very careful. It is a privilege to do business here. And you can use your business for the good, or you can use your business to cloak criminal acts. It becomes really easy to do that if you can, mess with your records in an effort such that, when future regulators come to look and see what's going on, they can never figure it out. So it becomes a kind of a cloak, an immunity cloak that we don't want to allow businessmen to have.
You say that taking this case on its own terms as a business record case offers a different, arguably more convincing way to defend its legitimacy as a prosecution, you're saying. Mr. Trump was a businessman for many years in New York, long before he was president. If others would be prosecuted for this conduct and no man is above the law, then he should be too. That, like, when you call it workmanlike, you can't futz around with your business records in this way, and people know that.
Right, exactly. And so, a lot of people are like, why this? It's not a big thing like January 6th. It's not, his huge political crimes. But in a certain way, those are more novel. This is exactly like everything else, and there's a way in which that makes it seem even more legitimate. He's not being targeted for political acts. He's being targeted for the things he did as a businessman.
One of the moments where this was, I thought, brought into relief is David Peckers' testimony from last week, where he couldn't talk about privileged conversations with his lawyers. But it became clear that multiple lawyers were like, this is no good. This does not work. This is not on the up and up. You should not do this.
Right. And that's very good evidence to show that what his intent was. And all they need to prove is that his intent was to commit a crime. And so if all of these lawyers are informing Pecker, this is not lawful, it's not a close call, that makes the whole defense that, everything was on the up and up, everything's fine, we're allowed to do this, problematic.
We think we're going to get a few more witnesses this week. What are you sort of looking for in terms of where the case goes next?
I'm very interested in how the defense lines up. So are they going to put all of their eggs in the basket of, this is all fine, everything he did this, and it was all fine? Or are they going to try to distance him from the things that Michael Cohen did?
What do you mean? Say more about that. Meaning that Cohen had gone rogue here.
Yes, Cohen had gone rogue. This was this was the lawyer trying to freelance and hoping that he was going to get some great later payoff from Donald Trump, and this is why he did it. That's one possible defense. A lot of white-collar crime, people are like, it was my assistant doing it on her own, like, my secretary. So, he could go with that defense.
Right, because generally in those cases, the principal has an agent that is committing it, and they're not doing it themselves.
Right. I think that there are some problems with that. We've already had testimony that his fingerprints were all over this. And, I think he's made a lot of public statements that, in fact, he did this and there was nothing wrong with it. Right. So those are all admissible. I think, probably they are going to go with there was nothing wrong with this. And that's a risky defense.
Rebecca Roiphe, her piece in the New York Times, I think out yesterday, right?
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.